Hello, I am playing Stray Gods, a role-playing musical, or the role-playing musical. I talked to Medusa. I think she's innocent. I'm about to go to Aphrodite's party, where I am sure we're gonna get some more clues. We talked to Pan and accused him of, like, knowing all of this. And, I mean, he led us to it. When we said we didn't want his help, he still, like, helped us. So, I actually think it's very nice of him. So let's get into it. Let's go to a party. I think, actually, it still says we could talk to Apollo, so let's talk to him first and just see how that goes.
Grace, back again so soon. Did you find Medusa after all? You've been on my mind ever since you told me about her.
I did.
Yeah.
It was fine. I told you it would be.
Oh.
Okay, it almost wasn't fine, but it worked out.
Like,
Nobody got hurt.
just blank
I see.
stare.
Perhaps you'd best tell me what happened then.
Is it best?
That
Do
sounds like quite the
do I
harrowing
trust him?
experience. One that could have gone very poorly indeed.
But
If I
aren't
didn't know
I
better, I'd say
going
you were
to...
worried about me.
Well, yes. I mean, you're not invulnerable, Grace.
But isn't she, like, gonna die in a
That
few
was
days
quiet.
anyway?
I
So,
do
like...
appreciate the sentiment.
If you've
Take
cleared
the
Medusa's
risk.
involvement, that still leaves us with Pan.
That's a good point.
I
Anything
don't
else
think
you'd like to
so.
discuss while you're here?
I want to know more
I'd
about
like
you.
to know a little more about you. All I know is you live in a dump, you have an oracle, and you...
Does he surf?
I'm not sure what to tell you.
That's what I want to know.
One day has bled into the next for so long, I feel like I've been lost in the spaces in between.
Wow, that's a bit dramatic.
He is
Yeah, well,
dramatic.
it comes naturally. Music and the arts were once under my purview as a god.
How did that get decided?
That's why
Did you have a big hat full of pieces of
you
paper
had
and you
flings
all
with all the
picked at
muses?
random?
No, we chose them for ourselves. Some, at least. Others were given to us by our priests. We collected godly responsibilities like marbles.
People collect marbles?
Oh, or whatever it is mortals collect these days. Cars, perhaps? The
cars.
point is, we took our godly duties very seriously.
Tell me more about Calliope. You and her were good friends, right?
Good friends.
For
Let's
centuries we were far more.
Mm-hmm.
I was the god of the arts, and the muses were my constant companions.
Yeah.
We went everywhere together.
You and all the muses.
They had many names, but the three most common were Clio, Talia, and Calliope. The sisters of beauty, I called them, though they weren't always women.
I never thought of that.
Huh.
Do idols change gender a lot?
Most of us seek out inheritors who are like us, I suppose, but not all. Calliope, in fact, was a man in her previous incarnation. Christoph, I think his name was. A poet Calliope adored. I was surprised when she made him a muse.
Wait, I'm confused. So, we're talking about different Calliope?
Who did Calliope become after that poet, Christoph?
You have to realize we're already into the period where Calliope and I weren't really speaking.
So you stopped speaking to
She
Christoph?
showed up one day in her new form,
Or...
the one you met. An opera singer whose name she never revealed. We fought, as I recall. I told her she couldn't pass on every time she met an artist she fell in love with. Eventually she'd forget everything about who we were and where we came from. She said she'd rather forget than wallow in old memories like I or the other idols were doing. It was time to wake up and make the best of our situation.
Yeah, no, I'm with her.
Calliope was an idealist without compromise. Always. She hated what we'd become. What I'd become.
But, okay.
She wasn't wrong.
So, like, do they, like... Do they possess people? Since, like, Grace isn't Calliope. This isn't how it usually works, where they die. At least that's the indication. Or is it? But it's just not usually murder. Because, what's Hecate was like, she dies in a car crash, so maybe they still die, just not by murder.
From how you describe it, you and Calliope fought
This is going over my head.
As often as we saw each other, which became less and less as time wore on. However, she fought with everyone. Calliope hated the idols being kept secret. She and Athena would get into screaming matches over the
she and
rules
Athena would fight?
So I could no longer protect her.
I really don't trust Athena.
Kept to herself. I just assumed she was wrapped up with some new artist when I got the news.
Do you regret not making up with her?
Every day I think about our last conversation and what I should have said or done differently. The problem with
I mean, I kind of don't. I
kind of
don't trust Apollo. Like, I don't trust Apollo a little bit, but I really don't trust Athena. They're good things.
It wasn't only fighting with Calliope, right? Surely there were good things too.
Do you want to hear about these, Grace?
No, she was marvelous.
This is really what you want to hear.
With, if there ever was one. In the darkest days during the war, it was her songs that gave us hope. She kept Aphrodite alive through sheer determination, I think. Calliope cared. About us, about art, about people she'd only just met. It was her greatest strength as well as her greatest weakness.
I wonder why she picked me. I don't feel like I'm any of those things.
You underestimate yourself, Grace. I see a lot of her in you. She chose well.
Yeah, okay, so he's talking like each iteration remembers, like, holds the memories of the last one. But that's not true for Grace, so...
You must have been very different back when you were a proper
yeah,
god.
things I feel like are different.
I think most of us were. We saw ourselves as, I don't know, teachers. Mortals were our students, and we guided them to enlightenment. We thought we were special, infallible. I was as magnificent as the sun, and I surrounded myself with those who basked in my radiance.
That doesn't sound
He's so
like
dramatic.
Yeah. I was arrogant. If there was a man or woman I desired, then I had to have them, or there would be consequences. They wouldn't have liked me. I wouldn't have liked me.
Yeah, that's... I feel like we covered this, but let's...
Is it just about what Hades did to her?
That's no small thing.
Yeah.
It seems more personal than that.
I mentioned how Persephone's kidnapping almost meant war between Olympus and Hades, yes? Well, while this was all going on, Persephone managed to escape the underworld, and I'm the one she encountered first.
Uh-oh.
Hades was hot on her heels, and I had a choice. Either do battle with Hades and start the war right then and there, or let him take her back.
What if you both went into hiding?
Had my head if I had sparked a war. Yet all I still think of are Persephone's eyes as Hades smugly took back his prisoner. It's not my finest moment.
Yeah, yeah. Have you ever tried therapy? This is such a good question for him. issues. That's probably all of the idols, but this man's got issues that he needs to work through.
Apollo, have you ever tried, I don't know, talking to someone about how you feel?
I will never understand this modern fascination with therapy and focusing on one's feelings.
It might help. You never know.
Yes, I've tried it. There was one I used to speak to. Hecate enchanted him never to reveal what I told him. I don't know that unburdening myself to the man helped. He wasn't exactly trained for this sort of problem.
It's kind of hard to relate to a god, sure.
I feel like there are a lot of the core issues
muddling through
that are very human. Yeah, I feel like a lot of his core issues are very human. He just needed to find the right therapist. And he did not, clearly. Find another therapist, Apollo.
I'd like to know a little more about the idols. I am one now, right?
You are. What would you like to know?
Well, what are we? Where did we come from? If an idol is a soul that moves from person to person, it must have started somewhere, right?
The short answer is, we don't know.
So did he have other people before?
I can remember bits and pieces. I remember my first Pythian games, the day the idols split in two over Troy, the day my first son died. But before that, nothing. None of us do. I vaguely recall the very first Apollo many thousands of years ago, but was he the original? Did he appear out of the ether? I couldn't tell you.
We're gonna be judgy.
Isn't it strange to not know where you come from? For all you know, the idols could be aliens.
Interesting. The notion that there might be some other place far away where we're the norm is comforting. Sadly, our memories are filled with blanks. There was a war with beings we called the Titans. A terrible conflict where half our number died, yet do I remember a single battle.
Were you the iteration?
Zeus called us
together. Were you the iteration that did that? So they don't have...
Told us to prepare for battle. And then, in the blink of an eye, I was in the 16th century. What made us forget 1,000 years? What happened during that time? We don't know.
So everyone
that
doesn't
period
remember that?
The gap.
We're just
the gap you
going and questioning instead of partying.
Did you just wake up one day, or...?
I know I was alive. I passed on my eidolon who knows how many times, yet the moment I woke up, as you call it, all memory of that period was gone. It was Athena who found us. I was in France, I think. She came to my farm, and the moment I laid eyes on her, I just knew. It all came back. Did someone do that to us? Did we scatter to the winds?
This overwhelms my brain.
It's a mystery.
What about Athena? I mean, she's the one who found you, right? She must have been aware.
Athena claims she awoke on her own and spent the next century locating the other idols.
Possessing people? So
We've
people lose
their
their identities?
Of our origins.
There's some other surfer dude guy that existed before Apollo?
But I'm afraid we don't have all the answers.
We're just going to keep questioning
your son dying. Did I hear that right? Can idols have children?
It was rare, but yes. Back in ancient times, some of them even became idols themselves.
Some of the idols are actually family, then?
Not anymore. Most of our children met terrible ends. A gift of the fates, perhaps. I don't know. The ones who weren't idols. It's hard, watching your children grow old and die. never understanding why they can't have the same immortality you do, why you can't grant it to them. My first son is why I'm not permitted in Hades any longer. Let's simply say that most idols have stopped having children, and maybe leave it at that.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna press that one. I want to press. I want to be like, wait, why can't you visit Hades?
That's all I can think of for now. I'll see you around.
Of course. I look forward to it.
Okay. Wait, we can come back? We can go right back to Apollo. Can we be like, about that Hades thing? What do we do now? I think I'm gonna go to Aphrodite's party, because I feel like this is just side information. So we're gonna go to Aphrodite's party. Let's go. And look, there he is. Instead of talking to him.
Fancy party? Check. Bunch of strangers? Check. Grace totally not dressed for the occasion? Check.
Yeah, you should have
If only I
changed.
knew what I was supposed to be doing here.
I guess,
Grace,
how do you know?
made it. I'm so glad. I was beginning to wonder.
You didn't say this was a fancy party. I feel a little underdressed.
Grace, look at me. I didn't even button up my shirt. It's fine.
Why is everyone
Her
so
expression
quiet?
has shirtlessness.
I should have told you about this earlier. I've been putting it off.
Always flirting.
You're cute when you're all angsty. You get this little crinkle in your forehead.
You
Flirt
might
with
not think I'm so cute after I explain.
Always flirt.
You don't have any of Calliope's memories, right? No deja vu, recollections that aren't your own?
No. Should I have?
Not right away. For a while, you won't remember anything. We call it the veil. In time, the veil will start to lift, slowly at first, but eventually you'll remember almost everything Calliope did.
And then, I mean, per our last conversation, that kind of makes sense.
Seems like the sort of thing you should tell a new idol.
New idols are usually chosen. You would know about this already, except...
Okay.
Except Calliope was murdered.
Well, remember how old we all are. There are so many memories. So the veil lifts gradually to protect you. Eventually, it's like a flood. It becomes difficult to separate what's you and what's them, and all who came before them.
That's kind of disappointing. Yeah, that's awful. Oh, all of these options are good. I'm gonna be
I'm
honest.
learning this now? What are you talking about? It sounds like drowning.
It doesn't
That's
feel
not.
that way, I promise.
That's not what I
You'll
meant.
still
It
be
sounds
you, you'll
awful.
just also be everyone else.
It sounds terrible. I don't even want to think about it.
I understand. Take some time to let it sink in. If you like, we can talk about it later.
What does this have to do with the party?
Aphrodite hasn't been the same since we came to the New World. She has horrific memories of what she endured during the war.
Um,
Passing on her eidolon is a way to forget, for a while. That's what this party is for.
for her to forget.
When you say she's gonna pass on her eidolon, you mean...
She's going to die, yes, and pass her soul on to a chosen successor.
in front of everyone?
We're here to help, Grace. To make it easier for Aphrodite to do what she feels she must.
Wait, and so she has memories of this war?
We're here
Is
to
it the
say
war
goodbye,
that the others
at
forgot?
least for a while.
This isn't the first time Aphrodite's done this. She's held this kind of gathering before, right?
This is her fourth, I think, perhaps fifth.
So every time the veil, whatever you call it, when it starts to lift,
Aphrodite's memories return, and eventually it is too much. We gather to pay our respects and to honor the past. Well, she still remembers it.
Wait.
I think
Calliope refused to come to these parties. That's what you said.
She refused on principle. Everything Calliope did was on principle.
Yeah.
She believed Aphrodite was indulging her sadness, wallowing in it. She thought Aphrodite should try harder. It was a point of contention between them. Aphrodite will be grateful you're here.
That is...
Do you support what Aphrodite is doing here?
It's not my choice to make, Grace.
So, like...
Yeah, but you must have an opinion.
Eventually you will remember what we experienced during the war.
Okay.
Eventually you will remember that what Aphrodite experienced was far worse.
If
this is the mercy she requires, I will not tell her she should not take it.
So Aphrodite is just... But, like, no, because, like, you're just putting the suffering onto somebody else. Like, every time. She's just putting the suffering onto somebody else. Do I be honest, or do I be, like, what's it called, amiable? I'm gonna be honest.
I don't know, Apollo. I don't like the whole idea.
Yeah.
You want her help, don't you?
Yes, but...
At least
so I'll
speak
be
with Aphrodite before you
greedy.
make a final decision. She's not here just yet. Until she arrives, I suggest mingling.
Is the next Aphrodite here?
Mingling.
Yeah, mingling. Talk to Eros. Or we can talk more if you like. Just try to relax, Grace.
Those are two options.
Yeah.
Two people have already talked to.
That's what this party is for, right?
Let's talk to Eros.
Grace.
Hey, Eros. Nice to... Oh. Okay.
Aphrodite will be so happy you're here. It means so much, you have no idea.
Are you okay? You seem a bit...
Every time she does this, I don't know how to handle it. I almost want to run upstairs and demand she stop. Remind her that this never works. Sorry,
Yeah.
I shouldn't unload on you. It's been a bad week.
I do not blame you. Oh, I feel for you.
Hey, I understand. This can't be easy.
Because I do.
She's the one who is suffering. I shouldn't be complaining. I just hate this. I'm there every day, going through it all with her. The nightmares, the panic attacks, the weeks when she just won't get out of bed. I'm there when she forgets the war's over, and I hold her until the screaming stops. Me. I do that.
Oof.
That sounds awful.
And now I'm arranging her gathering again, so she can die again. And I'll watch it all again.
Yeah.
Is there no other way? Does Aphrodite really need to...
To die?
Yeah.
I've asked that so many times.
I feel
She's
like
tried
there's
magic,
gotta be...
drugs, psychotherapy, meditation, everything we could possibly think of. For a while, she'll deny anything's wrong. It all seems fine, and I start to hope. Maybe this time will be different. Then the nightmares begin, and the memories return. More with each passing day until... I hate it, but I see her agony. I can't deny her this.
Is it okay if I ask what happened? I don't mean to pry, but I'm new. I really don't know.
No, it's okay. I wouldn't usually talk about it, but I know you don't mean any harm. What happened is that Brother Ares happened. He missed out on
Ares?
the first world-spanning war, you see. So he was damned if he'd miss out on the next one. He found some jack-booted mortals, so full of themselves and their supremacy. And he told them about the idols. Then they came for us. Took us completely by surprise. Some they killed, but Aphrodite, her they captured.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Aphrodite was captured, but she's here now. So she must have escaped.
She didn't. Do you know the name Hephaestus?
Yeah, I know it. I know
Should
it.
I?
God of smiths. He could make anything, any tool or weapon. He was Aphrodite's husband, and he adored her. When he found out the mortals were torturing her, he went mad. He was determined to save her.
Wait, they tortured her?
What did
Nothing
you
extreme,
think?
I'm told.
What did you think when they
They were
captured?
too frightened, but they were also determined to wring every last secret out of her. So, who knows how long that fear would have lasted. Thus, Hephaestus made a deal.
With the, jackbooted guys.
No, with their enemies. That's what saved her.
Their enemies. Tell me
Then
about
this
deal.
deal is how Aphrodite survived.
It's how we all survived. It's what brought us to the new world. Hephaestus saved us all.
If the torture hadn't been that
Never saw them
bad,
again.
this would not.
That was the deal. He would leave, make their precious weapons, and never look back. Aphrodite never even got to say goodbye. It's funny, because Aphrodite didn't even like Hephaestus when they were married. She seemed to resent every minute they were
I
together.
feel like the torture is worse
But
than
now-
they know. Or else it wouldn't
Now
be
he's all she can think about.
like this. I'm gonna ask it.
Maybe I just don't understand, but... Isn't this... like, suicide?
Some of the idols have committed suicide. They let themselves die without passing on their eidolon.
What happens?
So
What you'd
they.
expect. They're gone. Forever.
So they ignore the
Mother
person.
says she can't do that. She won't. Not until she sees Hephaestus again, I suspect. Not that what's happening here is anything casual. She still has to die. For a while.
They are forgetting the identity of the individual person. Like if this was Grace, if Grace had become Aphrodite, they'd be forgetting the person Grace. So like the character I'm playing right now is just a vessel that is going to not matter later. No wonder they're just gonna kill her. No wonder. Like why do any of them even care? They're not gonna care about her later. I'm gonna
Maybe I
just
shouldn't ask, but is there any way to change Aphrodite's mind?
You say that as if I haven't
Yeah.
tried. If only...
What if we could get Hephaestus here?
She'll ask you
that
to
help?
use your power as part of the celebration. Could you use it to inspire her?
I wish.
I can't force anyone to do anything they don't want to, Eros.
That's not what I'm asking. I believe that, deep down, she doesn't want to do this any longer. She must see it isn't working. She just needs the strength to try.
What
Or I
is
hope that's all she needs.
our next vessel in the room with us? I'll do my best.
I'll try, if you think it'll do some good.
I have not been
I
reading
don't
the
know if it
journals.
will. I just find it hard to believe it could get any worse.
Famous last words.
Tell me about it. Do whatever you think is right, Grace. And thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna talk to Apollo first.
I know all these people, Grace. For as long as I can remember, I've known.
But do you know these people?
Yet sometimes I feel like I don't know any of them at all. Or they
Because you're also partly new people?
You don't enjoy these family gatherings, do you?
Are they family gatherings? Like the sort mortals have?
You call each other
yeah.
sister and brother and mother.
They're actually a lot like
yes,
them.
But
And you've been together like 100 times longer than I lived with my family. All you're missing is a drunk uncle everyone has to apologize for.
that would be Pan. But yes, I feel very much out of place.
Oh, we got a flirt.
You look like you're in physical pain just being here.
Oh, enjoying my discomfort, are you?
Of course, it humanizes you. Makes up for all the abs on display.
I'm so glad you approve.
I spoke to Eros. He's pretty broken up over all this.
Oh, poor Eros. Each new successor, his hopes rise up once more. And then he watches the new Aphrodite crumble, piece by piece. Only
What
to
a
start all over
sensitive
again.
soul
It's so
in
different from the olden days.
a translucent
Once
top
he
and
was the
leather
eternal
straps.
disaster, and Aphrodite kept constant vigil over him.
Maybe he feels like he owes her.
I think he's followed her into a dark void, and somewhere, deep down, believes he deserves no better.
I should get back out there.
We already talked to him. He's probably gonna go on like, we're gonna wait for Aphrodite.
My family.
How
Having you
has
all
she
here,
persuaded someone to
gathered
do
once again
this?
to see me off, it moves me more than I can say. My loves, my darlings, my dearest.
I see.
friends.
Pan was not invited to this.
And you. Oh, my dear sweet thing. I dare not hope that you, with all your troubles, might sing me to my sleep. Yet here you are. Yet here she is. Huh.
I was hoping we might have a chance to talk.
Oh, but we are talking, are we not?
I mean the two of us. In private.
And abandon my guests when I've just arrived. I have so many farewells to make.
Is this Grace, my lady? The new muse?
Oh, what manners I have. Grace, Grace, meet the lovely mortal woman who shall tonight become the new me.
Hi, my name's Venus, and yes, it really is Venus. Nice to meet you, Grace.
Okay, but how long are you gonna be... how long are you gonna be Venus?
Hi. I have to admit, it'll be weird watching this happen the, proper way.
Because I'm chosen?
Yeah. I wasn't. Not like this, anyhow.
Yeah, Lady Aphrodite told me. I'm so sorry, that sounds awful.
There will be so much time for you lovelies to speak later.
Like, it's so
Now,
weird.
we
It's
must
like, hi,
prepare
I'm
for my
Venus, but I
departure."
am giving up my existence for Aphrodite, to become Aphrodite. Who I am right now will disappear and everyone will just call me Aphrodite and won't think about the life that I lived before this. Like, I'll knock you out of this. We're gonna do
I just want
charming.
to say, I'm really sorry that this happened to you, that you
Hey,
had
that
to
was
do
my
this.
choice.
A babe in our dreary world,
And like,
and yet already
why would
possessed of
you
such earnest
consent
purpose.
to this? Like, oh, she
Weren't you
must have not
opposed
told.
to this, Grace.
Apollo! Oh, you've come after all.
You look remarkably well, cousin.
Apollo, just outing me.
Pair, I assure you that would not be the case. As for you, Grace, have you gathered the true purpose of tonight's gathering?
I couldn't say.
An honest answer, I suppose. Some say it is about pain, for I have known pain. Some say it is about love, for above all things, I have known love. But truly, tonight is about memory. Memory I want to lose. But first, I shall honor it.
Okay,
Go,
so
enjoy the gathering,
how long
Grace.
until the bad
Tell me
memories
when you're ready to begin.
are overwhelming? Like, how frequently does the cycle happen? Because maybe then I understand if it's like, you'd live a regular life, like a regular life length, and then you won't want to live any longer, and then you'll start to lose your identity. Like, I guess maybe then it's like, after your life, your body's being used by this other identity. I don't know. I don't like this. Let's talk to Apollo and be like, hey, why did you help me?
Back again.
I don't think I'll have a chance to talk to Aphrodite. Not before, you know.
I was hoping she might have spared a moment.
What should I do?
You have two choices, Grace. Either you do as she asks and sing her to her rest.
But
At
then,
which point Venus won't have Aphrodite's memories yet.
yeah.
Or you somehow convince her to remain with us and hope she's grateful.
And doesn't regret it. Or get angry at me for ruining her party.
Do what you feel is right. It's a risk either way.
I should get back out there.
I feel bad to Venus, but
I should apologize, Grace. Saying that I was chosen like I'm somehow more special, I really didn't mean it that way.
oh, it didn't come across that way.
I'm sorry. It looks
Well,
like I'll
that's
be
so
doing
nice.
that a lot. Lady Aphrodite said I'm ready, but I don't know.
Being a god isn't something you can really be ready for.
I mean, you are not gods, though. Are you?
Gosh,
Not really.
You don't think so?
To me, you all just seem like people. Special people, sure, but flawed and lost, like the rest of us.
with slightly bigger issues.
If I can ask, what does it feel like after it happens? Do you feel different?
That happened so fast.
I'm not sure. It
I'd say
happened so
not
fast,
really.
I didn't know what to think. Calliope died, and then all this happened.
You didn't remember anything? About her? Who she was?
No, and that's
She was
the whole
just-
point.
Gone?
Yeah,
That's the whole point.
isn't that the point of all this?
I just wanted to be sure. Sometimes it doesn't seem like it could be real.
How do you know Aphrodite
Yeah.
exactly?
Start with how do you know?
So I was working at this homeless shelter, right? A couple of years ago, and she came in with one of the older residents. And she was there in this, like, amazing dress. And she's sitting with this guy and really listening to him. Like, they were old friends or something. I just thought, what is someone like her doing in a place like this? So, I just went over and introduced myself.
That's it? Just like that.
Yeah. She came back to the shelter a
And
few
did
times,
she
but by
introduce
then,
herself as
I guess she'd
Aphrodite?
taken an interest in me instead.
Your
Let's
name's
just go.
really Venus. huh?
We'll go through all the questions.
Everybody asks me that. Even the other idols. Maybe that's why Lady Aphrodite noticed me in the first place. She says it was fated to be. I say it's because my mama was a diehard hippie.
Are you really okay with all this? You know what's gonna happen, right?
I saw a lot of people in crisis at the shelter. I knew something was wrong with Lady Aphrodite. She's in so much pain, Grace. She won't let you see how much. Eros called me one night desperate. She wouldn't stop screaming. She didn't know where she was. She's a good person, Grace. A good soul. She deserves mercy.
But don't you feel this is wrong? I mean, you're ending your life. It's like some kind of murder-suicide pact.
I don't think of it like that. Lady Aphrodite is not committing suicide, and I'm not being murdered.
Okay,
Aren't you?
I want to hear
Your life is ending. It's being taken over, swallowed up by Aphrodite's grief.
I'm becoming part of something bigger. Something amazing. Or maybe you're right. It'll be terrible, and I'll end up in so much pain I'll regret it.
That's
So why
what the
go through
last several
Because Lady
have.
Aphrodite needs me. Maybe, just maybe, if I'm added into the mix of all the people she's been, maybe things will be different.
It wasn't the last 4 or 5 times. Okay, I am ending it there. As you can tell, I have a lot of feelings about all of this. I just feel like it's, I don't know, it's discrediting. I just feel like it's really posing some questions about, like, identity and who you are. And, like, what makes you who you are. And, like, I don't know, it makes all these idols seem like not the best of people, but I guess if most of the time the person they're becoming consents to losing who they are, it's okay? I guess if Venus knows she's about to become someone who is going to maybe want to do the same thing, I guess it's okay. I just want to know, like, frequently does this happen? Because if it's after our normal mortal existence, then I guess it's I don't know. And you still, like, yeah, it feels like you lose who you are. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about all of this. These are, like, moral, and these are conundrums beyond me. Well, I'm curious to see how it goes after this. Thanks for watching. Please like if you like, and subscribe if you subscribe, and leave a comment on your thoughts on these deep questions. And I will see you next time. Bye!